Hello students, loving welcome to English Language Classroom. Let us begin today's session with two quiz questions. I call it Cambridge English Language Quiz, CELQ. The first question for you is, when does the UN celebrate Language Day and why? Second one is based on parts of speech. I looked at him as he grinned pitifully at me. Is the underlined word an adjective or an adverb? In today's session, we will discuss question paper pattern and marking scheme of English Language Paper 1. You know that the marks allotted for this is 80 marks and the time is 2 hours. In question 1, you get compositions. It carries 20 marks. You know that the word limit is 300 to 350 words. Spend not more than 30 minutes on this question. You must answer only one of the following compositions. You get 5 compositions here. 5 options: narrative, descriptive, argumentative, short story or reflective, and picture composition. Question 2 is letter writing and it carries 10 marks. You are instructed not to spend more than 20 minutes on this question. You get 2 questions here. One is informal letter and the other one is formal letter. Now, question 3. You get 2 questions. Both are compulsory questions. Notice writing and email writing. Each carries 5 marks. Question 4. Reading comprehension. Total marks is 20 marks. You get 3 questions here. The first one is vocabulary, based on vocabulary. 3 words picked from the passage is given and each carries 1 mark. Total 3 marks. You are asked to write the contextual meaning of these words. The second question is answer the following questions briefly. It carries 9 marks. Third one is summary writing, 8 marks for that. It's also called as précis writing. 6 marks for content and 2 marks for expression. Question 5 is English grammar, which carries 20 marks. You get 4 questions under this. The first one is fill in each of the numbered blanks the correct form of the word in brackets. There will be 8 blanks and each carries half a mark. So that means 8 into half is equal to 4 marks. Second question is fill in each blank with an appropriate word, which is based on prepositions. You get 8 questions here. 8 into half is equal to 4 marks. Question C is join the following sentences to make one complete sentence without using and, but or so. You get 4 questions here and each carries 1 mark. That means 4 into 1 is equal to 4. Question D, do as directed. You get 8 questions here and 8 marks for that. Now I invite you for question-wise discussion. Question 1, composition. A composition must be presented in a clear, coherent, that is logical and correct manner. I'll give you one formula how to tackle each type of composition. My formula is C square. The first one is careful reading of the question. As I always tell you, you must read the question carefully, understand it properly, understand in depth, underline the keywords in that question, then only start writing. Second one is choose what you are best at. If you are good at narrative, go for that. If you are good at descriptive, go for that. Now, this question you always ask me, how can you write a good composition? I'll give you one formula which you will never forget. LBW. But it is not leg before wicket. It means the first L stands for lot of reading. You have to read and read and read to get better understanding. It will help you in expression also. Second one is broad observation. Keep observing wherever you go. Just keep observing and store it in your mind. Find out the words which can express your thoughts, through which you can express your thoughts. Because words are the best medium for your expression. Third one is vet your writing skills. You know that there is no substitute for practice. Keep practicing. Store the ideas. Express in words, in your own style. Fill in with your individuality. Your style is only yours. Now, we will see how you can write a good narrative essay. You know that you're gifted with imaginative power. Being children, grow the wings of imagination. But remember, your imagination should be realistic. The second thing which you must remember is narrative essays are usually written in first person. So the subject is I or we. It is your own story and your experience that you are expressing. There is an emotional involvement in your story. You are recollecting it from your memory. Another point you must remember is sprinkle your writing with the spice of your creativity. Next one, convey a message at the end. Now, I'll read out one narrative essay as a sample. It is based on a lead. The lead goes like this. You have just one more chance to prove that you can do it. The title of this narrative essay is The Jump of Joy. Listen to it carefully. It starts like this. You have just one more chance to prove that you can do it. The words of my instructor echoed and re-echoed in my ears as I got into the plane. Fear was a natural thing. I had heard, and I had a common fear which a lot of others had. I was afraid of heights. I had been afraid of even looking down from a high building. The fear had been with me for as long as I could remember. It was to overcome my crippling fear of heights that I decided to join the parachute school. I had gone through a rigorous routine to prepare myself for the big moment. Then, at the signal to jump, I had shivered and trembled and started screaming in fear. The instructor had taken me by the hand and led me back into the plane. I was the only one that day who had taken off in the plane and landed, instead of jumping out in a parachute. As my companions met me at the base, they smirked. I could see that even my good friends were uncomfortable in my presence. I was a failure. Then my instructor took me aside. He explained that it was not uncommon to be afraid. The real courage was in facing and overcoming that fear. I nodded and began to engage in self-talk. In the plane, I was still doing this. I kept thinking how I was doing to go home, how I was going to go home and face my parents if I do not get my wings. Then I tried to shut out the fear by imagining myself showing them my wings. The time for the jump drew near. The instructor placed his arm on my shoulders to reassure me that I could do it. I nodded and swallowed. My mouth felt dry as I felt the fear rising within me. I began mumbling affirmations again, and then it was my turn. Jump! I heard the command and hesitated. Jump! Shouted the instructor again. I thought no further and took the plunge, exactly as I had been drilled. Bravo! I heard my instructor's voice in my ear. I fell swiftly and then looked up just in time to see the parachute canopy open above me. Then I looked down. As I looked at the beautiful Singapore countryside below me, tears sprang into my eyes, tears of pure joy. I had won. As I floated, I remembered all my drills again and began to control my gliding. When I landed, my comrades were upon me, laughing and shouting. I could see that they were as happy as I was that I had overcome the greatest enemy of man, fear. Later, my instructor landed and gave me a large grin. I knew you could do it, he said as he slapped my back. I mumbled my thanks and then we ran to the truck. When do we do it again, sir? I asked the instructor. His reply was drowned in the shouting of my comrades. Now, children, you must note that this is an interesting story and told in a very simple style. You will notice that it is easier to express emotions in the first person, right? All you have to do is imagine how you would feel and then express it as exactly as you can. It should be fun. Now, next is do it yourself session. It's an assignment for you. This question is from 2016 board paper. The question is, narrate an incident from your own experience when you expected to do very well, but for some reason were unable to do so. Explain what happened and why it happened, and what lesson did you learn from it. Now, let us see how you can write a good short story. Who doesn't like a story, right? We tell that each other. Story is what we tell each other. And the plot and the characters are all invented by you. You are like God here. The reins are in your hands, and you can enjoy creating the plot and characters. Here you are free to use first person narrative or third person narrative. That is, you can use I, he, she, or they. Now, you are free to create imaginary characters and plots. I'll read out one short story. The question is, a food store in your area suddenly closed and there was great trouble. You can relate it to it now. First, what you have to do is you have to close your eyes and pretend that you are a person in whose neighborhood there's a store which closed. How would you feel? Let your imagination run a while and write what comes to your mind. Now, the story which I am going to read is titled The Greedy Man. It It goes like this. Muhammad's store was in the heart of the few blocks that made up neighborhood 7. When he started, Muhammad's was only a small store which sold only things like sweets and ice cream. He would have wanted to do more, but lacking the capital, he continued with only these items. Naturally, there were not many people who went to the store. Then came a stroke of good fortune for Muhammad. A new neighbor moved into the area and offered to help expand the store. Quite unsuspecting, Muhammad welcomed the opportunity, and within a month, the store increased in size and in the things it sold. All the daily requirements of a household were now sold. Also, because of the low rental, Muhammad was able to sell the goods at a price lower than the larger stores. People were happy because they could get anything they wanted conveniently at a reasonable price. Then the man who sponsored Muhammad became greedy. He began to badger Muhammad into selling the store to him. Muhammad was helpless because he was indebted to the man both financially and morally. He resisted as long as he could, but finally the man managed to pressurize Muhammad to sell out. Muhammad sold the shop and migrated. Then came the shock. The new owner closed the shop. People were furious and went up to him to see him. He was not in his apartment, and people learned from his maid that the family had gone on vacation. Everyone was angry, but there was nothing they could do. The man and his family came back a week later, and the neighborhood people discovered that he intended to sell the shop. Sarcastically, he named a price which was twice what the shop was worth and challenged anyone to buy it. Naturally, the people were furious, but there was nothing that they can do. They just fumed and left. From that day, everyone was greatly inconvenienced. The nearest shops were 1 kilometer away and the items were expensive. Moreover, the personalized service by Muhammad was sadly missed. People had been charmed by his sincerity and friendliness, and this they could not get from any of the shops. The little store remained closed for more than a month. The owner was obviously trying to get a price for it, which no one was willing to pay. He was rich and could afford to hold out. He lost the friendship of all his neighbors, but he did not care. All he wanted was a good price for his shop. Then one day at dawn, the quiet of the neighborhood was shattered by a fire engine. The little store was on fire. Police who investigated suspected arson, but the culprit was never caught. It must have been one of the disappointed people, either in the neighbors or one of those who could not buy the shop. As for the man who lost everything, there was nothing he could do. Everyone felt sorry for him. Hope you got some idea how to write a story, short story. So I'm giving an assignment for you. The second assignment is write a short story which illustrates the truth of the statement, adversity is the best teacher. So students, you have 2 assignments to write, and I want you to do it right now. Act now is our mantra. Remember that. Alright? So thank you. Enjoy writing.